Ever since I was a kid, I've always loved movies and video games, which is why it always excites me when I see my two favorite worlds intertwine. This is basically what we got to see and experience in the movie that we're going to talk about today, which is one of the big budget releases of 2021, The Tomorrow War. What's up, all you showmen and showwomen around the world? Welcome to another edition of ShowmaNation. If you're new to this channel, then make sure to hit the subscribe button with the bell icon and make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram by clicking on the links in the description box so that you guys get regular updates about the channel and about my videos. Now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's get right down to business. The Tomorrow War is a military science fiction action movie that came out in Amazon Prime on July of 2021. The director of this movie is Chris McKay, who's best known for his movie, the Lego Batman movie. It stars our beloved Chris Pratt, whom we all know for starring in some amazing stuff such as Parks and Recreation, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Infinity War, and many more. It also has a really strong supporting cast in Yvonne Strahovski, who's best known for starring in The Handmaid's Tale. J.K. Simmons, the veteran actor, is also a big part of this movie, who's best known for starring in many films such as Spider-Man, Whiplash, or for recently voicing for Omni-Man in the hit web series Invincible. Besides them, we have Sam Richardson as our goofy sidekick, who's best known for starring in the Emmy-nominated show Veep. And lastly, we have our damsel in distress in Betty Gilpin, who's best known for starring in the Netflix comedy series Glow. The movie starts with our lead character, Dan Foster Jr., played by Chris Pratt, and we see that he was an ex-military who's now a quiet family man alongside being a biology teacher. After being turned down from his dream job, we see him spend time with his family in their Christmas party, where during a live football match broadcast, we see soldiers from the year 2051 show up to warn them that the Earth is at a losing war against these aliens called White Spikes, who literally show up out of nowhere in the November of 2048 to kill the majority of the humankind within 3 years. To prepare for this disaster, countries from all over the world start sending their military into the future via this wormhole or portal called the Jump Link, but they soon find out that only very few people were able to survive that. Out of desperation, they hold an international draft where they start sending civilians into the future to fight this war to save humanity. And I'm sure you guys can basically understand where this is going, because as the movie progresses, we see our lead character, the ex-military Dan, come together with some other entertaining characters and use all his experience and skills to fight these scary looking monsters and save the humanity from being doomed. Now that was basically a little premise of the movie, and now if I have to point out all the positives of the film, then I'll start with action sequences and CGI. Now guys, this movie had a budget of $200 million and they pulled no stops in making this movie an entertaining fun ride. The action sequences were just amazing and really cool to watch, and I kid you not guys, at times I felt like I was watching an action video game. Like for those of you who have played the cult classic Metro 2033, I'm sure you guys can find a lot of similarities between them. Starting from the creepy looking monsters to the way they fight them, it all feels like you're actually playing or watching an action video game. And it's been a while guys since I've watched something like that, so I really appreciate them for giving us something like this. The CGI was also really good, and they did a great job in making the monsters look terrifying while also setting up the dystopian future in a very compelling way. Number 2, acting. This movie has an all-star cast as pretty much all the actors involved are seasoned and renowned. J.K. Simmons, as usual, does a great job in his role as an estranged father, while Chris Pratt is undoubtedly the star of this movie. What I really enjoyed about this movie is that it had really well thought out comedic elements that didn't feel forced at all. Unlike Marvel movies, and Chris Pratt is just the guy to pull it off. He can be really funny in one scene, while in the next scene you see him become this really cool action hero like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this makes you want to connect with him and root for him throughout. Sam Richardson does a great job as the goofy sidekick, and his chemistry on screen with Chris Pratt was really entertaining and fun to watch. Now that summed up all the best parts of the movie, and now if I have to point out the crappy parts of the film, then I'll start with plot holes and illogical events. A time travel sci-fi movie pretty much begs to be poked around for plot holes, and this movie is no different than that. As the movie goes on, a lot of things will happen that will have loose ends, and besides that, a lot of the things will just seem far-fetched. Like for example, we see them put guns on people who never trained or held a gun before, and they end up killing all these aliens as if they were experts. Then some of the decisions made by the characters will just make you feel a bit baffled, cause it would just seem downright stupid and out of character. On top of that, you'll see some really unlikely and wacky stuff happen that ends up being major contributions to the plot, which actually hurts the seriousness or the tone of the movie, as these elements kinda made the movie a bit goofy. Number 2, lack of involvement. A couple of characters in this movie were criminally underused. Like, I'm not gonna say guys who they are, but judging by their previous line of work, where they did show their acting prowess, you would think that they would be more involved or have a much bigger role, but instead they get completely sidelined throughout the whole movie. Apart from that, some of the characters are just gonna get killed randomly, and you wouldn't really care much about them because they weren't really built up that well in the first place. When it's all said and done, I'm gonna give this movie a solid 7.4 out of 10, and I will say guys that while this movie had a lot of loose ends and far-fetched elements, you guys can and should easily ignore it, as it really holds up as a really cool and entertaining action movie that you want to watch over the weekend and have a good time. If you guys are looking for a movie where the monsters from A Quiet Place get hunted down with the shooting style of Call of Duty, alongside some well-timed comedy and feel-good moments, then look no further, because this is the joyride that you would want to take. To all you guys who stuck by throughout this video, I just want to say thank you very much guys, and I really appreciate it. If you guys like this video, then please like and share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the bell icon, because I'm gonna upload new videos every week, and I would love it if you guys are a part of this nation. Until next time, bye for now.